This. Frick. What are you doing?
I was running in place.
You couldn't do that silently?
Then you wouldn't know what I was doing.
Well, I didn't need to. You interrupted my intro, man.
Okay.
This episode, we colonize. Welcome to the Grand Affidavit. He is Grant.
He's David.
Here we go. So this episode, what we are going to do is we're going to play, fantasy sports is a popular thing, right?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Vaguely.
Yeah. I'll say it is. It's a popular thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make our own countries simply by drafting. We're going to stick to our homelands. So we're going to draft out of the 50 states as well as the 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada.
Hey, we got territories too.
Well, you do. Well, okay.
There we go.
We got to set these rules out right off the bat.
Guam.
Yeah. So are we going to stick to the actual states, or
I think you could take whatever you want.
okay, you're going to have some off the board picks. I already have this feeling.
I don't want any of them.
Okay, perfect. So then we're going to stick to the main states as well as the 10 provinces and 3 territories if they do get picked. So the one rule that we laid out is that we have to each start with our state or province we live in. So my, I guess, default pick is Alberta. Your default pick is California.
Okay, and I'm gonna do the thing where I have 10 fingers. I'm gonna put up a number, and you go odd or even. If you get it right, you can choose to go first or second. Okay.
All right. Odd.
Oh, it's even.
Oh,
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll
go first. Which I'm kind of glad. The pressure's off a little bit. All right.
Well, this is an easy one for me though.
Your first pick
Oregon.
is okay. So Oregon's
Well, also not only because it's just north of California, so
Right.
I can get a big coast going.
Yeah.
But it can also be a unified place, and of course, it's got Portland, and I like Portland a lot. I've been there once in my life. I drove through it once at night. I didn't really notice anything cool about it, but then the other time I actually went there and stayed a week. That was a good time.
Yeah. So, but I'm concerned about you. I mean, you can pick Oregon; it's all yours. But I'm pretty sure you've just monopolized the craft beer industry by picking Oregon and already having California.
Well, yeah.
I see what you're doing here. You're working on your exports. I understand. This is great. However, I'm going to pick. My first pick is actually. I'm hoping to kind of block you in a sense. I don't know what your plan is here, but I'm going to pick Washington State, and part of that is because, like you said about Portland, you love. I've never been to Portland, but I've been to Seattle. Absolutely love Seattle. It's a great city, and at this point, if I want to travel somewhere and it be relatively close and not have to use my passport, that would be a bonus to go watch some Major League Baseball. It's the closest thing for me. So that is my pick. I'm going with Washington State for my first pick.
Well, what we need to do is we need to somehow pool our money, buy Major League Baseball, realign everything, and put a team in Vancouver. Like these are very simple things that we should do one day.
Right.
But until that day comes, I'm going to take British Columbia.
Oh, you did it! No. That's why I blocked you, because you can't have the entire West Coast, man. But okay, why are you taking BC?
Well, first of all, Vancouver is one of the all-time greatest cities in all-time greatest city history.
Right.
It is just wonderful. It has great arts community, which is one of the things about almost everywhere in Canada, honestly. Great arts community. Same with Oregon, great arts community. California, the arts community is okay. San Francisco is a way better arts community. The one in L.A., the arts community in L.A. is sucky because, sure, they do plays, but they all want to be on TV or in movies.
Right.
So they're just doing it for an means to an end, whereas everywhere else is great. And BC has great marijuana.
Well, I suppose that's a thing.
And my friend Tyler lives in BC.
Oh, there we go. And he actually, speaking of your friend Tyler, your friend, my friend, everybody's friend Tyler, he actually provided the brand new, I didn't even mention this, brand new, I guess, I don't know if it's theme song. I don't know what you want to call it. But that song.
Well, it's certainly something.
It's something, and I can remember him writing it because we were sitting by each other at a basketball game when he started doing that little melody thing back in high school. So anyways, okay, back to the matter at hand. So you have picked Oregon and British Columbia, and you already have California. My question is, do I want to block I already blocked it, I guess, with Washington State, but just wipe out your West Coast, and I'm not going to take Alaska. That seems like a wasted pick this early on. Sorry, all you Alaska folks that are listening right now.
I'm actually writing my picks down, so you should do the same thing.
You said you weren't going to do it. We were just going to let this.
Then I realized I really need to do this so I can strategize better.
I don't know what the strategy is here, but
I also don't know how we tell who wins. But I'm pretty certain I'm winning right now.
You have more picks than me at this point, so by default, yeah, I think you win. I'm going to go a little bit off the board. It's not off the board, but I'm moving away from the West Coast. Gonna go a little more central. I'm actually gonna go with Texas.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
And the reason I'm going with Texas is it one word? I don't know if it's one word, two words, hyphenated word. Tex-Mex. That's why I'm picking Texas, because Tex-Mex might just possibly be the most delicious food known to man as a food group, or a type of food as a whole. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas. I don't know how this is gonna work for. Like getting to and from different parts in this one fantastic country I'm making, but Texas.
Well, I think we should say we're going to have open borders. We're going to have like an EU.
Yeah, okay, this is fair. Okay, so yes, Washington State.
The problem is the stuff that we don't pick, I don't know who's going to run that. So he may be a tyrant.
Just anarchy. So Washington State's my first pick. Texas is my second.
See, I was going to pick Texas, and I was going to banish everybody from Texas that's not living in Austin, and then give Texas to Austin.
That's great.
That was going to be my plan.
I like it. It.
Well, I have to do this because it's. I'm going to go with. Oh, I'm so torn here. I'm going to go with Massachusetts.
Okay. We're working our way to the eastern seaboard now. So
now I've got. You've got a coastal in the Pacific. Now you got a coastal in the Gulf of Mexico, kind of Atlantic. I got an Atlantic. I got Pacific. I don't have any in the Gulf of Mexico. And judging that it's Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida left to get something in the Gulf of Mexico, I think I'm probably going to not end up with something in the Gulf of Mexico. But Massachusetts, another great arts community,
right.
Very open-minded people, lots of universities, obviously, and my brother lives there.
Okay, all right. That's fair. If we're going to make the picks based on family, you already took British Columbia, so that's off the board for me. But I like this thought process of getting states and provinces and territories and whatever that are on the coast. So my next pick, based solely on its location and the fact that I've got family there, and I'd rather them live under my rule as opposed to your rule.
Oh, I don't like where this is going. I think you're going to take what my next pick was going to be.
I'm going with Nova Scotia. Was that your next pick?
Yeah.
So why would that have been your next pick? I explained for me why it was mine. Purely family.
Well, my ancestors came through Nova Scotia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as did mine. It's a beautiful
From Scotland to
Nova
Scotia.
Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world. Your whole, New England area. You picked Massachusetts. You really could have picked Maine, New Hampshire. It's all very similar through there.
Maine's got a horrible governor. Horrible governor.
Yeah, but see, you're taking over if you pick Maine. It doesn't matter who the governor is right now, right? So,
I guess so. I could fire him out of a cannon.
Not just you're fired, but you're literally shot across my country. All right.
I'm going to go with, I want a northern territory, not a territory, but a northern port area. I'm going to go with Manitoba.
Okay. That's off the board. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got, that might be the first really off the board pick. I didn't know that Manitoba was going to get drafted.
I just like the Jets.
You like okay, that's fair.
Winnipeg Jets.
So is that your reasoning for the Winnipeg Jets?
I also like
Or you
Guy
really-
Madden in his movies, and he's from Winnipeg.
I was going to say, is the next thing you really like Mennonites?
Well, I need some prairie land too.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I got mine locked up, obviously, with my.
And you get the oil sands too, so I don't know if you're going to use that or not.
I do. Well, I have the oil sands as well, and then I've got Texas, which likes oil. So I mean, I guess I got my oil covered. My exports are covered: beef and oil. That's about it.
If we spent the $200 billion or the $20 billion that we're going to use to build the wall, Trump's wall,
Yeah.
and we used it to build solar panels, we could basically have electricity for 350,000 homes.
Whatever. But the wall,
Priorities.
man. I hope they put neat decorations on the wall or something, so it's at least something to look at. Okay, so your pick was Manitoba, hey? I got a pick that's on my board that I've been kind of humming and hawing, but I'm also wanting to see how long it sits
How did
there.
it do in the combines? How did it do? How was it 40? Was it a 4.40?
It kind of chose not to take part in the combines.
Conscientious objector? Is that what's going on?
There you go.
Draft dodger from Vietnam?
See, this is the reason.
Hippies?
No, this is the reason it didn't take part in the combine, because in its mind, it's bigger than the combine. This particular
Ontario.
location, yes. There you go. Well, now that it's out there, I feel like I have to take it, because if I don't, then you're just going to probably take it to snake me. So I guess I'm gonna pick Ontario, and that is purely because I like going down to Seattle to watch the Jays and the Mariners. So why not own both locations that they're from? You know what I'm saying?
That's really good. And I'm gonna really, now that I have British Columbia, I'm really gonna fight to get a team in Vancouver.
We appreciate it. You know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I think the natural rivalry between Seattle and Vancouver would just be spectacular. Seattle has to travel the most out of any team because there's no one near them.
oh yeah. Oh, it'd make great sense. But you think that would have worked for basketball, and it didn't. Both those teams are gone now.
Well, I'm taking a state that I have to take. I think it's contractual. New York.
Okay, and that one, yeah, that's fair. Why are you taking New York? You said it's
'Cause
contractual.
I want Hamilton tickets. God damn it!
That's the only reason. Okay, all right. I can get behind that, I suppose.
And they have great museums.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's your pick. That's what you got. You go New York.
Yes.
You would do that, wouldn't you? All right. I think my next pick, I am eyeing up. I'm going to go with Illinois.
Oh, that was going to be my next pick. I
mean-
want Chicago.
Yeah, see, I've never been to Chicago, but it just seems like a great city, except for the wind. I used to live in...
No, the windiness is about corrupt lawyers and politicians.
There we go. If that's the
Not the
case, we
actual
can...
wind.
Yeah, so if that's the case, we can clean that up, right? But I moved from a windy city to a much less windy city, and I realized just how much I dislike the wind once I got out of it. So that is one downside to Chicago, but Chicago seems like a pretty great city otherwise. So Illinois is my pick. And, I mean, Wayne's World, come on.
Second City in Chicago, great comedy, great theater
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
Hamilton is also there, so you can get yourself some Hamilton tickets
All
too.
right. And then you know what we'll do? You'll go watch yours in New York. I'll watch mine in Chicago, and then we'll tweet each other. I don't
No,
know.
we'll FaceTime the whole time.
Face with those guys.
Well, no, I assume that I'm just going to have the whole theater to myself.
Right? Yeah, I suppose that is an entire possibility.
I'm king. What are you? Are you going to be king? I'm going to be king.
I haven't really put much thought into what I want the people to call me.
Or maybe chairman.
Chairman of the country. All right, what's your next pick, man?
Oh, this is tough. It's starting to get tough now.
Well, there's just a lot
I
of
really wanted
white
really
bread
wanted
states.
Illinois.
We're getting into a lot of white bread areas, you know what I mean? And I don't mean that obviously racially, but just plain boring,
See, the good thing about Illinois is you're on the Great Lakes and you're also on the Mississippi
Yeah, it's true.
and the Missouri.
And I could trade with myself now that I own Ontario.
You know what? For the sake of music, even though I don't listen to a lot of music, I'm taking Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's fair. It was on my list. So,
And also, my brother's moving to Tennessee after he's done in Boston.
oh, Just keep it up with the family. Oh, I got my next pick. I can't believe this one hasn't been picked. We all need a place to vacation, sir. I'm picking Hawaii.
Oh, you son of a...
I can't believe that one went that late. Like I feel like that might be one of those later round gems, you know, where everyone looks back and go, "How was that picked in the?" Let's do the math. 1, 2, 3.
7th round.
Yeah, how was that picked in the 7th round? Well, Hawaii
14th overall.
snuck under the radar. But yeah, I mean, I've never been to Hawaii, so maybe it's entirely overrated. I've watched a lot of Lost, though, so I know what to expect.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not overrated.
There we go. See, one of these days, Hawaii's on the list. All right, what do you got next?
Okay, this is a tough decision. I'm thinking about a couple things here. I really want to go to the Mutter Medical Museum in Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's also the birthplace of the United States.
Yeah.
So I think I might put my capital back in Philadelphia.
Oh,
I'm going with Pennsylvania.
there we go. Like to
I
hang
also
out
love
with
Philly cheesesteaks, just
and
so we know.
That's fair, and the Amish. I also love the Amish. You know what? That's a good pick. You know, I've got kind of like this emotional attachment, I guess you could say, to Philadelphia specifically, because that's where Teach Tony Danza took place. Okay, next pick.
Well, if you see, like I've got California, Oregon, British Columbia, kind of
Yeah.
in a group, and now I have Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts.
I do see the way you're working. I'm all over the place. So, with my next pick, with that in mind, I am going to take Wisconsin
Because you want cheese, or you
Because-
like Green Bay Packers?
because I like cheese specifically, and because I like the way you think with kind of grouping things together. So now I've got Illinois, I've got Wisconsin. I'm kind of starting to build around the Great Lakes a little bit again, so I guess I can trade with myself in Ontario. But Wisconsin was actually a pick that I had in mind at the beginning of this, so I'm somewhat pleased that I was able to make that pick. That's good.
Yeah, both Illinois and Wisconsin can come over and trade with my Pennsylvania and New York.
Yeah.
All
As
the
long
Great Lakes.
as long as Michigan doesn't get in the way. All right.
I think what we need to do is we need to make a proclamation, like an agreement between two countries right now to just dismantle Michigan.
All right, Detroit, you're out of it.
So you can have. I'm going to give you that little Upper Peninsula part is now part of Wisconsin.
All right.
So that's yours.
That's fine.
And the mitten part of Michigan
Yeah.
is just going to be a wildlife sanctuary that none of us own.
Does Eminem take care of it, or Kid Rock, or who's?
Not Kid Rock. He
Not
can't
Kid
take care of anything.
That's fair. Okay, what's your next pick? We're getting towards the end here.
I think I'm going to go with Georgia
Georgia, I like it.
because I've been to Savannah and
Yeah.
it's just an amazing city.
Yeah. No, I like that. That might be one of the first South picks.
Well, I mean, you picked Texas.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what you Americans think, but I don't really. I mean, Texas is South, but you know what I mean, like the deep South. I don't know. Anyways, Georgia, that's a good pick.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Georgia Peaches.
Yeah,
And hopefully the Super Bowl champion Atlanta Falcons.
there you go. All right. Well, and also the home of WCW, which is no longer a thing. With that in mind, I'm actually going to make another South pick as well. I'm going to go with Louisiana.
If I had to pick something on the Gulf, it was going to be Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't. I mean, the only thing you need to say there is jazz.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful city, New Orleans, but the humidity, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to live there. All right, so where are we at? We got just a couple minutes left. So do we want to call that? Let's call that the draft.
Oh no, let's just make one more pick each.
Okay,
to make
one
it
more
an even
pick.
10.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I'm taking Vermont for the cheese.
Vermont
And
for the
banana
cheese.
cherries.
All right. Then with that in mind, I'm going to take Maine. I don't eat lobster, but I feel like it's a pretty good export for Maine. So
As long as you fire that governor of theirs.
like I said, no leaders are going to be in place. So this is a fresh start. We've made these countries. there will be new elections, new appointments. The only election that there won't be is who's controlling these countries.
Very quickly, my country is made of California, Oregon, British Columbia, Massachusetts, Manitoba, New York, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Vermont. Your country is Alberta, Washington, Texas, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Illinois, Hawaii, Wisconsin, Louisiana, Maine. I like your country quite a bit.
I think both countries would be pretty great, to be honest. I'm curious, how many Canadian provinces did you end up with?
2, Manitoba and British Columbia.
So I got 3, but one was an automatic. So we covered half the guy. I can't believe Quebec didn't get picked. I mean, there's some great culture in Quebec, to be honest. Quebec is a free agent, so we got to figure out about signing.
No, let's just let them go back to let's let them be independent, or they can go back to France, whatever they want.
There it is. That sounds good to me. So
but who's going to run the rest of these? Are all the other states and provinces free agents, as you call them?
Well, I believe so. I mean, it just ends up looking a lot more like Europe, right? You know, where you just have all these, like, you know, countries thrown about there. But I think I like the idea of being able to negotiate with some of these countries and say, hey, would you like to come join us? And I think we're onto something with this. I think really what we need to look at is how to approach the rest of the world with this idea to just let people draft countries.
Well, territories, because there's a bunch of different areas of France,
right,
Mexico. So we demolish the country system and we take all the little territories, states, provinces. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, you know what? I think that's going to wrap it up. I think this was a successful colonization of the Western world. Some of North America. Anyway,
my focus was on art.
That is true. I feel like I focused kind of on sports and food. And then there's some
art
music
and family for me.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna get out of here. We're quickly running out of time. So real quick, Grant. Actually, I said I wasn't gonna do this anymore. So you can follow us on Twitter at Grand Affidavit. From there, you can find our personal Twitters, because last week I said it and immediately I changed my Twitter handle. So that was brilliant and confused you. But yeah, follow us at Grand Affidavit. Look us up on Facebook. You'll find us there as well. Other than that, thanks for colonizing with us, and bye.